Okay, it's February 14th, 2017. Yes, it's my birthday. Yes, I am. How old am I now? 27. I don't really care much about birthdays. I don't celebrate them. I'm not a big person for even holidays, so I'm not making a big event. I made a bigger event for my 1,000 subscriptions, so yeah, not a big deal that it's my birthday. I really don't care. But I did say I was going to have a show for the TST after show, which I did watch most of. Not many people really were on the panel, but I was busy making a video. I'm still making the video. I'm probably 75% done, which means probably I'm only about half done after I fix some of the stuff that's in it.
What's the video on?
Yeah, well, you're in it.
Yay!
Yay! I am making a response, review video of the review that True did, where he basically was telling everybody that the dumb fuck of the year was a secular award, that that you're an idiot, that you made all these mistakes, that I made all these mistakes, that Dr. Rana and Dr. Ross agreed with him, that kind of stuff.
Okay, I tried making a response video to that, and Sam was actually looking forward to it, and I made it 3 times, and I having issues with Screen Presso because it would shut off the audio. Excuse me, it would shut off the video and have either a black screen or the Screen Presso logo, so I couldn't splice it together. So I just said, "Fuck it."
Yeah,
so, if you're doing a video, then good.
Dude, I tell you, when you make a video and you have problems like I'm having on this one, it is frustrating because I'm like, okay, I want to fix this. I want to make it be legit, and it's just not doing exactly what I wanted to do. But I'll figure it out. So we'll have a hangout here, and then we'll see how busy it gets, and hopefully I'll have this video out by tomorrow morning. It's kind of getting too late to put out tonight, but I think by tomorrow afternoon I'll have it out. It is a response again to Ronnie's bullshit that for example, how many times did he change his position on the whole DNA degrading in water thing? And yeah, and I can't put that in the video, right? This is too much to put in.
If you ask him, never, right? Ask him, he never changed his position.
Well, I mean, we have specifically asked him, does DNA degrade?
And of course, he broke out his magical time machine to go back to and make that comment, which is also interesting.
Yeah, that one comment that he showed. Yeah,
which he can't provide an actual source for, or let anybody actually see.
I noted that nobody's actually found where this comment is, but it wouldn't matter anyways because we have so many other comments of him. But it's just one drop in the bucket. I mean, he's literally saying that things like Red's rhetoric changed his position because he knew that he pretty much looked bad.
I remember that.
I'm like, what? I mean, how can Ron even come up with such absurdity? It was clear that Reds changed his vote because his boy Antonio was not going to win. He was in 4th place, and he didn't want Von Helton or Darwin's Deity to win. And Ronnie seems to think that this had anything to do with their quote-unquote debate, which, by the way, Reds destroyed him. I mean, I don't think Ronnie realizes how bad he does in debates. Of course, Ronnie doesn't really realize a lot of things, but
that's something that me and Sam talk about. Is like, how is someone so fucking stupid, that confident? Like it amazes me. It really amazes me. Like he knows he doesn't know shit, and he's had to lie about his education because he doesn't know shit. So it's like, how? Like you have to wonder how incompetent is this dude on a day-to-day basis, and that's something that Sam and I actually talk about on Facebook. It's like, could you imagine just working with him at Wendy's and telling him that, no, you can't have the fryer on 350. You need to have it on 450. That this is regulations. And him arguing with you because he saw on a YouTube video that you can actually fry it faster at a lower temperature, some stupid shit like that. So, I mean, I'm at a loss.
Well, he's the one that thinks that water at 2,000 degrees Celsius is going to be in liquid state dynamics versus pressure. So, I mean, yeah. But, I mean, he gets away with it because people in his community don't point out the mistakes that he makes, right? And they're too illiterate to do it anyways.
The mistakes.
Right. That's all it is. And my whole video is basically centered around the concept of projection for the most part. I'm trying to have it centered around the concept of projection because this is something I noticed Ronnie is pretty much the foremost king and leader of the projection of people that I've ever seen in my entire life. I've never in my entire life seen somebody project the degree that he does. I mean, literally, he's a mirror. And it's really kind of scary. I mean, anything he says about somebody literally only applies to himself. So anyways, hey guys, hey Isaiah, welcome on your actual account. I see that you got it back.
Oh, that.
Well, that's Isaiah, but hey, Ruth, welcome you too.
Wow.
Glad you're feeling okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. You look like you're just chilling outside.
I'm in a swing.
On your swing. Oh, are you at home? Or you're out of the hospital?
Yeah. No, I'm out. I've been out for about 2.5 weeks. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And you've still got your
I still have to
project
go
to
back
do.
Yeah. I've got my thermo mixer. I still don't have the mini on. That's the one. Oh, sorry. There's two pieces left. I need the mini on, which I ordered in mid-December. And I need ethanol, which I have to get a license for. That only takes another 2 weeks or so. But yeah, I've got a hassle.
Do they have Everclear in your area?
Everclear.
Yeah,
there's an insurance
like,
company called Everclear.
It's what is it? 190 proof grain alcohol.
Yeah, it's pretty much damn near
I
200
can
proof
get
for the most
them.
part.
Everclear. Who said my
I can
name?
get 95% ethanol.
It's strong.
Pretty much
It's like absolute citron is probably the closest you can get in the States.
Yeah,
I'll get proper ethanol, like 99%.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're just talking about DNA extraction, you can just do isopropanol and then 70% washes is fine. Yeah, pure ethanol is a little bit better, although you do need a larger volume. But isopropanol is fine.
Okay.
And I'm guessing it's easier to get pure isopropanol than pure ethanol. So.
Yeah, I can get it here. I just have to go through some hoops with the tax office. Surprisingly, they don't want you to buy ethanol and then make, alcoholic beverages with it and sell it without the tax on it.
Yeah, it's probably a lot cheaper too. So to get the isopropanol.
Yeah.
Chris, but did you hear what Roof's trying to do?
Oh yeah, no, I
okay. All right.
Sorry, did you see what C. Brown's trying to do?
Read first grade level material and oh wait, get away with plagiarizing. That's what he's trying to do.
It's funny. It's funny because I had a little bit of a conversation with him a while back about plagiarism, and he had posted something in a thread without quotes, even though he later said he had quotes on it. And we went back and forth for 5 or 6 comments or something like that, and finally he just said, all right, fine, I'll anymore if I'm going to post something, I'll make sure I give a link or something. I thought to myself, so you're saying you're going to not plagiarize anymore? Okay, great.
He's admitting that he's plagiarizing.
Well, no, he refused to accept that what he was doing was plagiarizing. And I think one of the things I said to him immediately before he said he would start giving links is, that if I did that in my job, I'd be fired. And that's right. And that's just the end of it, right? And not just fired, I'd be blacklisted.
Yep.
Well, they don't seem to realize that plagiarism, one, doesn't even have to be intentional. You can plagiarize and be completely unintentional. I mean, in fact, we probably at some point in our time, we've all maybe been guilty about that, only for the fact that we didn't think it was really something we didn't decide. I mean, we plagiarize Wikipedia shit, for God's sake,
That's the really funny thing about it is that, he said, well, I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. I had it in quotes. I scrolled up and was like, 1, this isn't in quotes, but 2, even if you put it in quotes, even if you have it in quotations, if you don't have the citation, it's still plagiarism.
You can even plagiarize yourself.
He said, I'm putting it in my own words. He said, I'm trying to put it in my words. And then,
that's fine to do.
And then the thing with drag, that's just unbelievable to me. It's like, I'm going to put this in my own words. Paste like 1,000 of somebody else's words. Who does that?
Well, it's okay. I agree with drag. It's one thing to look up the solution and go, okay, here's the solution. And I'm fine with that. I really am. And if you can say, okay, let me explain how to solve this problem, and you conceptually explain to people step by step by step, and then get the right solution that you've already looked up, I have no issue with that, right? Because, that should at least demonstrate you conceptually understand the material. But C. Brown can't even do that.
No.
It was just a,
and then he called it a massive coincidence.
Yeah.
Forgive me for asking, but
Huge coincidence.
is C. Brown a recent arrival to the CCP, or has he been here a while? I hadn't heard of him.
He's been here a while.
He's been pledging for a while.
Yeah. he was a small little CCP, pledgling, and now he's like full blown CCP this year. He's actually running for the Dumpfuck of the Year.
He's really trying to make a name for himself.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
What?
He wants
getting his name out
What
there.
did you just say? What
I
did
think
you
he wants-
say, Steve?
He's in the running for Dumpfuck of the Year.
Oh,
and
no,
I think
there is no running, so never mind.
I think that he wants to.
Never mind,
like,
I'm sorry. I apologize. I'll put myself on mute.
I think he wants to be the next, like this G-man science guy, right? Because obviously Ronnie has no credibility in science whatsoever at this point, and I don't think that any of them would ever say that actually he is their go-to science guy. Maybe they would. I don't know, but for the most part, I think he's trying to fill that niche that's been vacated ever since people have pointed out to Ronnie that he's absolutely inept in these topics. So the thing is, by him doing so, he's actually demonstrated that he's actually just as inept, if not more. I've never seen anything from C. Brown to demonstrate that he really conceptually gets mathematics, biology, chemistry, anything. Everything that he writes is literally has come from other sources. He is well known for plagiarizing. He will cut and paste ICR like there's no tomorrow. Right? So that's not a science guy.
Which is especially bad when it's as easy to recognize as it is with him, because the second you see that there's not a space before a period at the end of a sentence, he pasted something, right? I mean, it's So and honestly, if you're not willing to take the time to make sure that your sentences are properly punctuated and just some basic grammar things, I'm not sure how much time you've spent doing anything else.
Well, I'm just more curious about the things he tries to convince people of. I mean, he uses all these biological terms and scientific terminology, and then when anyone confronts him on what any of these words mean, he doesn't know at all.
Oh no, he backs away. He changes the subject real
quick.
And I always do that. It was the same thing with Arcane. Every time Arcane would use the word quantum in a fucking sentence, I'd ask him what he means. So, you know what I mean, man. You know what I mean. Like, no, the fuck I don't. I don't know what you mean. And it's
Arcane blocked me finally.
He's basically like Kellyanne Conway.
Arcane playing the Deepak Chopra card. I like that.
Well, that's what happens.
We got into a conversation about flight paths.
About what?
Paths in the player. And he went back and forth like 10 times, and then he just blocked. Refused to answer the question.
You say something, Drag?
Oh no, I was just gonna say you have to remember Arcane's sensitive. Like I tell people that I'm not saying that to be funny. Like he is really sensitive, and he gets mad when I tell people that. And I'm like, dude, you are fucking sensitive. Like if anybody, you'll disagree with someone, but the second someone really starts like hammering home the point that they're trying to make and pointing out that you may not, necessarily have the grasp on this topic that you thought, he blocks them. But it's weird because I will tell him that his mother should have aborted him, and he's fine with that. Like he'll accept that kind of abuse, but tell him he's fucking wrong. Oh fuck no.
Well, that's why I think that all of them just want to troll at this point. They know that they're just not going to be able to compete in actual conversation of these topics. So therefore, the best they can do is just try to throw a monkey wrench in it, and be a contrarian or be an obstructionist and prevent the conversation from being forward. And that's what I've noticed from all of them at this point. Literally, even Tommy Hall's gone that route, which is a shame.
Yeah, Tommy Hall admits to it though. That's the one thing about Tommy. He will admit to himself trolling.
That's why I got so mad at Tommy, because my understanding of the word troll, Poe, I guess, that he really believe that evolution is untrue, or is he just pretending? I don't.
No, he actually doesn't accept it. But trolling can be more than that. I mean, he trolls just to get a listen, a reaction. He'll say explosive or inflammatory things just so we can get off the topic and diverge into something that has no relevancy of what is actually being talked about in the room. That's trolling.
Okay.
A Poe is somebody who doesn't believe what they actually state, right?
Pillbox is
right.
a Poe.
Yeah, Pillbox is a Poe.
The Pillbox is a
Cambo's
Poe,
a
but
Poe.
the Tommy
Pillbox
Hall, I
a
don't
Poe?
think is that. I think he actually.
Tommy Hall's not a Poe. He's legit. He actually
Okay.
thinks, yeah. He's still, but he again, he's like Ronnie. He refuses to correct himself. He refuses to understand the concepts. He still doesn't understand why Lamarckianism isn't a valid scientific position anymore, right? He doesn't understand the main thing about that was use and disuse of body parts being promulgated through the gene pool, right? And through,
just
through
think
the germline. And he doesn't understand that that's been invalidated.
That's on another subject. That's just more confusion about the word troll because it does have a certain Poe meaning, at least to me. And the idea, I mean, that's not trolling
Okay,
what
Blue.
Tommy Hall is doing. He's
Blue.
obfuscating.
Blue. That's because a Poe is a troll.
A Poe is a
But
subset of troll.
Right. There are different types of trolls.
Right.
Certainly. I'm not. But can't we just call what Tommy Hall is doing a obfuscation or changing the subject? I mean,
He's trolling. That's by definition trolling.
There is no definition of the
Okay,
sky.
Blue, are you trolling?
I think it's probably trolling.
Well, I think trolling is more nuanced than that. It's like if you're invited to somewhere, it's not that much trolling, as opposed to if you were uninvited, for instance.
I don't think it makes a difference whether you're invited or not.
Hold on, Chris. I've been invited. Am I trolling?
I think Pseudo could troll if he wanted to.
Are you
trolling?
Steve sends me the links all the time. So I've been invited.
I know who
So
the
am I
fuck you
trolling?
are.
He just magically gets the link.
I know.
I was invited by who?
Yeah, by whom?
Okay, question.
I can prove it. I get the links from Steve all the time.
Question.
Sometimes correct. But I always get them from Steve.
Real quick question. Is jungle jargon a Poe?
No.
No. He is. I can tell you. I've spoken to this guy years ago, offline. He is legit. He is just.
If I can offer an alternative answer to that, I think that depends on how you measure.
Well, I think that makes a lot
But
of
if
sense.
you measure, you change the outcome.
Done. So
it's
why
a quantum
would you think
physics
that,
joke.
Yeah, we all got it. Why do you think that jungle jargon is a Poe? I mean, I've talked to jungle jargon for a long time too, off air, and he actually believes what he believes. Now he's a troll a little bit because that's why I banned him from my live feed, because he just loves to spew shit and not talk about it. I mean, how many times can you say the same statements over and over and over again? That's just trolling at that point.
I think he actually has some type of, like, we make fun of Ronnie for being, incompetent, but from what Jungle Jargon has said, I think everyone's heard that story where he got a fever in the jungle or some shit like that, and the witch doctor had to come or some stupid shit like that. I think he actually probably had something like that happen, and that may have affected his cognitive development. So that's possibly an answer. And like I said, I'm just completely fucking speculating based on what he said, but it would make sense because of how his thinking process doesn't really click.
So,
I wouldn't be surprised if he has some kind of physical brain.
Oh, okay,
I think
Drag.
he's done that before.
Did that story also involve putting the lime in the coconut and drinking it up?
I was waiting for that part, but no, it did not include that part.
All I know is
That is not in the Witch Doctor song original.
I tried to watch some of that hangout with him and with Jungle and True, and I was really wishing that YouTube had a 5x speed option, because just two of them are just so slow.
It's like watching 80-year-old men suck each other off.
Seen that recently? Okay, wow.
Not recently.
How do you?
For those watching at home, it's lemonparty.net.
Yes, there you go.
Don't repeat it, please.
Well, I'm not the one who went to livematures.com or reallymatures.com.
And I go to meatspin.com.
There you go, Meatspin. I used to get people.
Don't be putting that stuff out there. People watch my videos are gonna be like going there and stuff, and they'll be like,
That's true. Steve's right. Yeah. Think of the children, motherfuckers.
Think of the children. My
It's
daughter.
the kids who do it.
I know. What the hell's that?
Yeah, it's just.
Well, the more
Just
important
said-
thing is, why do we all know what Meatspin is for some reason?
Because we've all been hit with Meatspin.
I know.
There used to
You guys, do you guys remember?
We have all gone to Encyclopedia Dramatica and looked it up.
At some point
Do
in
you-
time.
No, I have not. Speak for yourself.
Here's an even better question. How do you know what two 80-year-old men sucking each other off sound like?
Okay, I'm leaving now. We'll
Sounds
save
like
this
you'd
conversation.
Boy, we really have
Relax,
degraded in
relax.
our comments, haven't we? Yeah.
It's
Do you
like
guys
this.
remember?
Go ahead.
Do you guys remember AIM?
Yes, I talked to my wife on there actually. Well, back
Yeah, of
before she
course.
was my
Yeah.
girlfriend.
On my little like,
Messenger.
you know how you could right click on a user's name and pull up their profile info? All I did was put a link in there, and I disguised it as a link to, I disguised the link, but it was to meetspin.com. So yeah, people like,
Yes.
who was Slim Jim? Oh God.
My eyes.
Oh, no, I found the WoW Armory link, and it was like WoW-Armory, and it was a redirect to Meatspin. And I used to post that around in the WoW forums when the servers were down
Nice.
to tell people to look at all the fucking legendaries and shit that I had. So yeah,
Oh, the internet was such a better place like 10, 15 years ago.
The internet was a better place 5 years ago.
True. But like back when
True.
E-Bombs World was still a thing.
Oh, God.
Before YouTube existed.
Yes.
Oh, guys, go to E-Bombs World. Who remembers the Flash collaboration on E-Bombs World? The Street Fighter Flash collaboration? Nobody? Okay, that's probably
I remember
probably
that.
a good thing. You remember it?
Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny.
Oh yeah,
I
that
remember
was
that
back
one.
when like Homestar Runner was famous.
Oh, Homestar Runner.
Homestar Runner?
Yeah, it was an old back before memes were a thing. It was, I guess back before viral videos were a thing. That was like the website you would go to for, I guess, like obscure internet references. It was like a kind of like a web comic and video style. It's hard to describe.
Yeah, no, I remember it. Homestar Runner and
Red versus Blue.
Red vs. Blue
Oh,
came
geez, a
after
long time ago.
Homestar Runner.
Hey, Drag,
Red vs.
speaking,
Red versus Blue is still actually going.
Still?
Are they still in the box canyon?
No, they left that
Oh,
alone.
okay, I was going to say.
And the production values went really, really far up for no apparent reason because I think they got a lot of money.
Well, yeah. Well, now they're making Ruby now. The same studio, I believe. Or is it a different studio?
To be fair, though,
I'm not sure.
Red vs. Blue kind of jumped the shark after like the second or third season.
Well, after
It got better again.
Oh, you mean after the female got possessed, or was it the robot
Yeah.
got possessed by the spirit of somebody? I was like, okay, whatever.
Actually,
No,
although,
it got better again, actually.
since we're talking about Red vs. Blue, I should probably stop making up animals, right?
A puma.
Chupa thingy.
I'm glad somebody
Still say
thought
it looks
that.
like a puma.
What is this thing? It's a puma.
A walrus.
Oh, what?
Oh God, good old days.
hey, Drag, speaking of WoW, the other day I was doing some real world PvP, right? Not like the battlegrounds where all
In a dig
stuff
and
actually
attacking
works.
people?
Yeah. And Boomkin there's a place in one of the caves where you can get some berserker buffs. Boomkin literally gets a berserker, goes into bear form, 7 million hit points, 4 times almost anybody else, and then you could spam Moonfire. So he just sits there and spams Moonfire to your dead. You can't kill him because he's got 5 times your health. They're just invulnerable. You cannot kill somebody in that situation. It takes like literally one time he'd even Moonfire. He just what is it, solar ray or whatever the hell it is, one shot me, just one shot.
Yeah, Boomkins are overpowered. Even
way.
without that, like they are. I remember when they were shit, but now, like you got a Boomkin, you're good. Good as a shaman, almost not as good as my shaman. But
I like having one Boomkin in my group for PvP rated battlegrounds, but I also like
good burst damage.
Yeah, well, they put a lot of pressure over everything because they just they can also just dot stuff with Starfall and just melt faces, right? You get a affliction lock in there too, and yeah, people are done.
Oh yeah.
Man, I thought this hangout was going downhill when we started talking about meat spin.
Hey, don't hate. Don't hate, man.
I'm playing WoW as we speak.
My computer won't take it.
I spent $1,200 on this one. It better take it. Better take every bit of it.
I'm lucky I can actually get a hangout. So Christopher wants to talk about my furious masturbation on my birthday. Unfortunately, well, no, Christopher Mowdy, not Christopher.
Oh,
yeah, Mowdy. Yeah,
oh, Mr. Meatballs. Okay, yeah, he likes dicks. Yeah. In the chat.
No, he's in another hangout with Fiona, Hogtie, and Jade, and Tanya, who I guess didn't want to come to my birthday hangout. Although
they were talking about something that was quite serious. I'll talk to you about it offline, but yeah.
Deep shit. Hey, are you gonna
Yeah,
PvP with me later, maybe? After I finish this video, or at least I'm gonna work on a little bit more, but then I gotta do some dailies.
It's almost 9 o'clock here, and it's Valentine's Day. I'm just gonna say that.
Hey, Ruf, go. Yeah, thank you for joining me, my friend, and I'll get with you in a little while, a couple days. Okay, bud.
I gotta go do some stuff.
That's good to see you again, man.
And Ruhif, if you need any advice or anything on that, just let us know. I'm sure that there's plenty of people here who can give you help. So
yeah, that'd be good. I'll post a photo later, all my stuff.
Thank you, sir.
It's probably gonna be a few weeks until I actually get anywhere near doing anything. But yeah, cool. All right, catch you later.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
See you.
Yeah, anyways, like I said, I'm not having a very long hangout today. I really do want to finish this video. I'm trying to keep it under maybe maximum an hour. I'm trying even half that would be okay. But it just, I gotta get another video out. It's been a while since I did a video.
Let me know if you need some audio or video from me, because I got tomorrow off.
Okay. I don't know really what I would need. Basically, you telling Ronnie he's a piece of shit. I don't know.
I could do that.
I mean, the amount of bullshit coming out of him recently has been exponentially greater than he was last year. I don't know if he's just upping the ante or what. But I mean, he's outright lying. Outright lying. I mean, he said that Dred's rhetoric changed his vote because of how he thought he did it in the debates they had.
If you listen to the video, like when he starts off with me, he'll first tell you or show you what someone has said, and then he'll tell you your motivation. Like he's fucking psychic, because he knows in my mind what's actually going on and that I'm lying. But he somehow can ascertain the truth from inside my brain some magical way. Like I don't know how he does it, but
well, he just thinks that we're all lies. I mean, look at the things that he puts up initially. He has a picture of JD Kane, Hogtie, Fiona, Sam, me, and you. And it's funny because the name of the video that he had was something about reviewing something about atheists, right? And it's like, wait, 2 people out of there are not atheists. Okay, so 1/3 of the 6 people you have, right, which is 2 people out of the 6, 1/3 are not atheists. And 3 people in that are, 2 people are, 2 or 3 are at least PhD level, and 1, like yourself, working toward it. So I don't know what the hell he thinks he's so qualified to tell them that they're being disinformation agents and putting out bad information about science when he has never, ever corrected anybody on science. He has that one little thing about Sam from a year plus ago, which he was wrong on to begin with, and Sam just went down that path. But still, I don't think he's ever corrected anybody successfully on anything of scientific nature. Not once, not ever.
I mean, he has to keep up the facade. Like I said, I think this, like G plus, is just his domain, because in real life he's a fucking nobody, and that's why the pissing contest that he gets in or tries to get in with some of us, it's hilarious, because it's like I don't care. Like I can get off this computer, I'm gonna go have sex with my wife, and then go eat a steak. I don't care what Ronnie Rodriguez and fucking shithole Illinois is doing. I really don't care. But like for some reason he really cares about like what I'm doing in life, to the point that he'll say shit like he's buying a house supposedly, and it's weird shit.
Well, he thinks it's some kind of weird competition, and it's like, look, at all I give a shit about is what can be demonstrated. Where's the facts? What's the evidence? And once you get to that level, he just has nothing. He just has assertion after assertion after assertion, and he'll even point out things like, or say things that aren't even remotely correct, like, oh, well, Matt Slick has refuted, almost all the members of the Great Debate community. When did this happen?
I was waiting on that one.
When did this happen? Matter of fact, does Ronnie even understand Matt's argument?
When did this happen?
Does he understand Matt's argument about P or not P, not P, therefore P?
No.
Does he understand why that is trivially a tautology that, and I'm explaining this in my video, that all that means is literally P, therefore P. And that's for God. He's saying God, therefore God. That's his argument. God, therefore God. That's not an argument, Ronnie. So no, he has not refuted anybody on that, because you have to be an idiot.
What the hell is the P?
The premise.
Oh,
Yeah.
But if you have premise, right? P or not P.
has he been saying
not
this for
P.
so long he just got tired of saying premise?
But you have a format
Q.
and yeah,
Make it sound more scientific-y that way.
Oh,
premise,
okay.
Q
no,
is
it's not
a conclusion.
scientific. It's when you're writing, I think it's formal logic. That's how you're supposed
Logic.
propositional.
Oh.
That's what it's called.
Oh.
Propositional logic,
Yeah, but
as opposed to, I think, like predicate logic, which is kind of more math based. It's just a different way to write an argument.
well, I thought he might have done that just to make it sound more professional too, because you can say it in simple terms and it still means the same thing. But hey, let's make it sound like I'm an expert. So let's
No.
say P and all that.
No, that's just when you're talking about logic, you use things like P and Q. That's basics. I mean, like everybody knows when you say P or not P, you're saying you're saying if you have something or you don't have something, right? A or not A.
You're not necessarily describing urine.
No.
Yeah. Well, this is Ronnie we're talking about here. Come on.
But he doesn't understand Matt's argument on that, and why Matt's argument is flawed, and why Dr. Alex Malpass ripped him a new one multiple times, and he still has this denial. That's
Doesn't
why
even
Ronnie will
sound like
never
an
ever win
argument
on
to
any of
me.
this stuff, because he will never be able to use actual math, logic, science, anything to actually justify or bolster his position. Ever. I don't ever see it happening. Because if you can't understand something as simple as why Matt's argument is wrong, which everybody has understood why is wrong, even the most non-scientific, non-logical people among us in this community, they even understand, oh yeah, that makes sense. It's that he's wrong.
Just
Yeah.
sounds like an assertion rather than an
It
argument.
is an assertion. He's asserting God, therefore God. That's his assertion.
Yeah, like there's no argument. There's no evidence or anything attached to it. That's just.
But that's why his argument, that whole P, not P, not P, therefore P. It has to go to the fact that he originally wants to say that the laws of logic or the principles of logic can be accounted for by theism, but not atheism. That's kind of where he's going with all that. And so he's saying, either God can account for the logical logic, or God cannot account for the logical logic. Not accounting for the logical logic. I mean, he's just basically saying God accounts for the logical logic because God accounts for the logical logic. Okay. What does that really do for you? Yeah. Anyways, it's just one of those multiple things that Ronnie conceptually shouldn't be delving into, because he doesn't understand logic. He doesn't understand reasoning. And so when I watched that video, I was just like, okay, you know what? I could talk about this or have a hangout, but I think it'd just be probably more beneficial if I just stuck it in a video and showed everybody,
just show the whole context of what, like with the thing about Dr. Ross and Dr. Rana, just play the whole thing. And it's like, well, why did Ronnie stop here when you see Dr. Ross turn to Dr. Rana for clarification, and then that's when the clarification comes right after, right where he cuts it off. So it's like he knows he's being dishonest, and then that just doing that would, in my opinion,
actually in that clip, Fiona more clarifies than anything else. But Rana agrees with Fiona, but Dr. Rana gives Dr. Ross a look like, no, you're wrong.
Yeah, I mean, asking astrophysics about chemistry is like,
well, that's what he said. He said, hey, why don't you ask the biochemist in the room? And of course, Ronnie left that part out because he doesn't care. He thinks it's the people are going to just watch his shit and not bother to actually look at the entire video that on my channel that demonstrate that Ronnie's full of shit, because Rana has said initially, absolutely, degrade and dissolve are two different things, and they are not.
Are we kind of half talking about that video he made addressing all the atheists in the community?
Yeah, which is funny because two out of them are not atheists.
I saw that.
I don't get that.
Yeah, you were on there, and I was like, that's interesting, because I don't remember Steve identifying as an atheist.
Well, so is Fiona.
Yeah.
Yes, for
that
God.
really threw me off. It's like, okay.
No.
That's not the first time he's used that, though. He's been corrected on that before, and he still uses it. Again, Ronnie doesn't care about truth. He doesn't care about being correct. It matters not to him. When I make a video, I try to make sure that the content is legit, right? I don't want to play my hand. I don't want to put anything in there that I can't back up, because if anybody says, hey, Steve, here you said this, where do you get this from? I have to be able to cite my sources if I need to back them up, right? Ronnie won't do that. He doesn't care. He'll throw anything in there because if anybody asks him to back anything up, he just won't do it anyways. We all know that.
Yeah, I mean I was gonna leave Ronnie alone this year because I mean it's after a while it gets old. Like we know Ronnie's fucking dumb. You know, he likes to impress his friends, which okay, cool. It's like having a parlor trick. It's like if I had a detachable dick and I showed it at a party. Like that's kind of what I find, I guess, the novelty in what Ronnie does. But he has this really weird victim complex where he can be the big bad boy on the street and in the schoolyard. But the second you come at him, it's like, I heard you've been talking shit. He backs down, and he becomes like, it's so weird. I will never ever understand it.
Oh yeah, doesn't he like block comments sometimes or whatnot?
Oh no,
All the
not
time.
sometimes.
All the
Dude,
time.
He has
cannot
most
take
of everybody
criticism.
blocked. Anybody that has a high school education or higher pretty much has been blocked from his channel in our.
Oh.
I mean, just the fact that this dude had to lie on 2 separate occasions about his education tells you a lot about him. Like you know, I don't look down on people because well, you don't have a PhD. Fuck you. No, I look down on people who have to lie and pretend that there's somebody that they're not. Like I don't find that appealing.
But that's what he surrounds himself with. Look at Sean. Look at C. Brown. Look at Neffy. They all suffer from this.
Actually, you got a point with that.
Yeah. So I mean, this is the mindset that they all have. They all have.
Wait,
this
hold
exact
on,
same
Steve.
problem.
Hold on. Has Neff ever lied about his education?
No, not to my knowledge.
Like I know he claims he went to a photography school, which was his like mail-in thing he did.
Well, hang
but
on.
still, it was a like home study course for photography.
Yeah, no. Let me clarify. I never have known Neff to lie about his formal education. However, he lies his ass off about his knowledge level.
Oh yeah, true.
Or maybe he thinks he knows stuff. Doesn't mean he actually does.
Okay. Well, I used to think
there's
that.
a difference between lying and then thinking you know it.
No,
because lying intends that you actually want to deceive people.
Right. We've actually shown he's done this. We did that with the whole wildlife translocation disease associated with wildlife translocations. He outright lied, and for months he would continue to lie about it until finally he just said, "Oh, I had the wrong paper on the screen." But for months he tried to back out of that, saying, "Oh, that paper explained that why you can't have a Robertsonian translocation, why you can't have the fusion of human chromosome 2 that produced it." He used it for the longest time. He was outright lying, and I have a 2-hour video of me getting him to try to admit that paper.
Such old news. He barely is even online anymore. Shoot.
Well, that's why we don't bring him up that much. I mean, I agree. I mean,
he just kind of disappeared from the community.
Yeah, well, I mean, he did first. He's going to figure out how to do actual Hangouts again. He had no idea once we got rid of Google Plus how to do Hangouts.
Yeah. You'd think if he was on the community enough, you would see the message where it says, "Hey, you do it with YouTube."
I wouldn't have cared. I would have helped him if he would have even said, "Hey, Steve, how do you start a Hangout through YouTube?" I would have still helped him out. I swear. I mean, no reason not to.
I mean,
I'm not a dick. Well, I'm not trying to silence these guys.
His Christian brothers didn't give him a hand with that, which it's kind of odd that they didn't. Like
maybe they don't know. I don't know.
Maybe he doesn't want to do Hangouts anymore. Maybe he's tired of it all.
I have no idea. I can't go to motive. Well, no, he'll pop in every so often. I mean, he popped into an outside chat the other day just to randomly out of nowhere start throwing pejoratives my way about how I wouldn't debate him and shit. I'm like,
no, he's probably drunk.
Well, that's what I kind of figured, but
yeah.
But anyways,
aren't all the debates with him kind of the same anyhow? You don't really get anywhere.
Well, you listen to him pontificate for about 6 hours, and then you get to
and he threw out so much crap that you can't address it all. Literally,
you mean you fall asleep to him pontificating?
No,
I've done that once.
No.
I've done that.
No. You sit there, guys. You sit there and you listen to him reading a scientific paper about how they found gravel in layers in a moraine, which was put down by a glacier. And that is proof of a global flood because glaciers are ice, and that is water. Water puts down sediment. The gravel is in layers. So this paper is talking about a global flood.
I mean, you cannot fault that line of reasoning, dude. That's brilliant.
Maybe if he says everything a little more simply and not so boring, maybe we'll listen to him more. Huh?
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, everybody knows I fell asleep that one time when Keefe's was having his debate with freaking Neffy. About 10 minutes into it, I was out like a
you're
light.
not just exaggerating. That's actually
That's actually true.
You can fall asleep from his voice.
I was
It is
out
possible.
like a light, and about 10 minutes in, I was out, and 90 minutes later, I woke up or something, and it's just like, holy shit, man, what the fuck is that? I was like, okay, I'm all
So,
right.
what are you suggesting that Neff should start marketing a line of sleep aid tapes?
Oh,
maybe.
Where you put on a headset and you go to bed listening to his voice, you'll fall asleep, you'll be well rested. But after,
hey, I don't want to
after
necessarily
a
be
month,
mean,
you're
but
going to wake
it
up
worked
with
for
some little
Steve.
suggestions, and you're going to be freaking batshit crazy from listening to this crap.
Hey, it worked for Steve. Maybe it could work.
It was very soothing. Just like being read to by like Morgan Freeman, as he does a narrative from like Tales of Two City or something, just.
C-SPAN would have the same effect, though.
You know what would be the worst thing to ever experience, Steve? Being on a transcontinental flight with Morgan Freeman, and he's the only person in your little aisle there to talk to.
The first hour would be great.
After 20 minutes,
yeah, about the third.
You'd wake up, wonder where the hell the flight went.
The third or fourth hour would be like a little bit much.
I just can't seem to stay awake.
And in my 5th year that I was born.
It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, Morgan Freeman?
It doesn't matter. It's just the fact you're talking to Morgan Freeman. His voice puts you to sleep.
Hey, maybe that's the reason why you're afraid of debating Nephilim Free. You can't fall asleep in the middle of the debate, can you?
I probably would still.
Hey, like, don't challenge me.
It's like the moderator's like, Steve, it's your turn. What?
Well,
Oh, shoot.
Neffy wrong. Neffy bad.
I pre-recorded every segment of my debate. So just somebody wake me up and I'll start the next one.
You guys ever see the debate he did with Inspiring Philosophy?
Neffy did?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know.
It's awesome. I think it's on Christian Anarchist's channel. But he goes through his opening statement about why evolution is bullshit and this, that, and the other thing. And then IP goes ahead and starts his piece. And then after like 5 or 6 minutes, Neffy's like, you blew it. I'm out. And then he just hangs up.
What? That does
You
not
gotta
sound
admit,
like
that's a
something
brilliant
you do.
debate tactic. I like that, actually. Yeah, you blew it. You're wrong. Bye-bye.
You lose.
You lose. Game over,
IP
man.
and whoever
Game
was hosting
over.
it are just sitting there like in stunned silence for at least a minute before one of them says, well,
I guess IP wins.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much universally recognized that if somebody walks out of a debate, they lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
IP wins. Oh well.
Well, he actually walked down on Fiona's debate, too, when Fiona was doing her closing statement.
Right at the end.
Well, I mean, the thing is, that's just kind of being, that's just a jerk move right there, right? If you just go away after before the closing statements are over, like there's no more you're gonna say. So it's like I don't even need to be around to hear what the other person's gonna say. So I'll just leave. That's kind of annoying.
I think if I ever have a debate, another one, because the first one I did obviously was around Mac Revolution. But if somebody actually challenged me to a debate on Polonium Halos, I might take them up on it, maybe.
What happened to?
How about the ATP stuff?
What happened to?
I don't even know what's debatable on it.
What did Sundrop ever show up?
Sundrop came back on Sunday. Did you miss it?
I might have. Did he?
Yeah, he came back. Yeah, he gave us a paper that literally was nothing what he was saying it was. Matter of fact, it was the fourth leak that he gave us. The first ones were secular sites. Nothing in that paper was actually stating that genes have intelligence. Basically, it was a colloquial way of using intelligence to say that the repair mechanism from the DNA was intrinsic, and it had the appearance of being able to do things without it being directed by some kind of intelligence, and so they were self-aware enough to do this of it to itself. But it wasn't implying that they were self-aware, right, or like consciousness, or they were intelligent. It just meant that the DNA had everything it needed in its structure to make the repair mechanism happen.
Yeah, it's
right?
kind of like how a computer can do automatic updates and stuff, kind of like it's alive, but it's not alive. It
Sure,
just
exactly. That's a good
functions.
point. Yeah, I like that actually, because I mean, think about it. I mean, when a computer does an update or something, I mean, is the computer thinking, "Hey, I need an update"?
Whereas
No, but it has this.
No, it goes and checks the server every 20 minutes.
Oh,
But the
you
difference,
think
but
it's
the
not
thing
alive?
But the
Is
thing
there an
is, the
update?
difference is
Is there an
somebody's going to
update?
say. Somebody's going to say this. Somebody's going to say, "Hey, well, but intelligence designed a computer. Therefore,
Human.
with that analogy, intelligence designed
Intelligence.
DNA," which is such crap. I'm so tired
You know,
of that.
to be fair though, at least that's a better point to make than some of the other arguments I've heard for the whole creationism stuff. That's a smarter one.
Steve, you're getting it wrong though. Wouldn't it be that two programmers had sex?
No, Slim, that does not happen.
Design. Yes, that's intelligent.
That's true.
It doesn't happen.
No,
Wow.
that's not how you make a computer.
Yeah.
Well, let me make some announcements.
Because
here.
both of those programmers were more likely virgins and male, and in separate basements. So it this doesn't happen.
We do have a bit of a debate coming up here. We actually got two this month. There is a debate on with Joe. I don't know if it's a debate, but Joe's going to have a discussion, I think with One Drop, on Thursday at 5:00, give or take. So
okay.
What about? It's going to be on. Actually, they're going to be talking about the Euphoro dilemma.
Cool. I don't even know what that is. It should be interesting.
It's the dilemma. Basically, does God do good things because he's good, or is good because God does good, or is God good? Good. It's just a paradox dealing with. Does God do things because he's good, or is it good because he's God?
That's why I don't get into the philosophy, because it's like you just
somebody else could probably say it a lot better than I can, but that's kind of the nutshell of it. Does anybody want to
I think if I were in a debate with somebody about that thing, I'd be the one to just leave. It's like, no, sorry, I'm done. Not my brain. I can't handle it. That's too complex.
Yeah. The original one was by Plato. Yeah. Is it pious to be loved by the gods because it's pious, or is it pious to be loved by the gods? So is it let's see.
Third question. Does it matter?
Yeah. Is what is morally good commanded by God because it's morally good, or is it morally good because it's commanded by God?
The question is what is good intrinsic or extrinsic to the nature of God?
Okay, that makes more sense. I can get behind.
There you go. Thank you. Perfect. Because
that makes more sense.
Because if God is the supreme being that is morally good, then you're kind of begging the question, aren't you there, Chris, by saying that though?
I kind of lean more towards the second one.
Wait a minute, Steve. So you're telling me that God gave you polio because God loves you?
Well, no, this has to do with moral commandments.
Yeah, it's not. This is more like moral,
and therefore the polio.
Like if God commands you to go out and slaughter a race of people, is it morally good because it's commanded by God?
It's more like, is it moral because God says so, or is it moral from some sort of objectionable?
Yes.
I did say that God said the polio was good.
No, the question is, does God command you to go do this because it's morally good, or is it morally good for the fact that God commanded you to do it? That's kind of
what I was saying. Is it more of like an objective morality outside of God, or is it just objective because God says it? So in a way, it's almost like you could argue it's God's subjective morality.
Okay, we need more philosophy types in here.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
And the other thing is, I guess I don't have an exact date yet, but Floyd and General are going to have a discussion.
Really?
On whether the Bible teaches the Earth had a global flood or a local flood.
That's very interesting. I know Floyd takes the global flood.
Yes, and let me reiterate here. He believes that no flood existed, but he says he believes that the Bible does advocate that there was a global flood, but he just thinks that that was wrong. While General, on the other hand, believes that the Bible advocates for a local flood and that there was a local flood.
I'd have to say it's more of a local thing.
Well, that's the thing. I've heard General and Floyd kind of go back and forth on an off-air hangout, and it's a very when they got started, it's very interesting because both of them are well learned in the Bible. And their interpretations it's not like G-Man reading fucking every other word, and skipping over the big ones. Yeah. You have two people who understand
because the big ones aren't in the children's dictionary.
They can have a conversation, yes.
And there's like a webpage I could link you to that actually makes a pretty good argument for it being a local flood.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. But there's some other things we're working on. So hopefully next month, March, we'll have
March 14th.
Yeah, well. Sometime in March, have some bigger name guests in here again.
March 14th is steak and blowjob day.
I'll make you the steak, but the blowjob's gonna have to come from like Blue or something. Sorry.
Like I understand, even if somebody like Floyd were to disagree with like what the Bible says, like atheist's perspective, you should still give the book credit where it's due. Like it might not say something that you might want it to say.
Exactly. Read what it says.
Yeah, like even the whole flat Earth
not
argument
tortured
with that the
interpretation.
Bible says that it preaches like a flat Earth is like, does it actually say that though?
No.
Well, I think he does too. Floyd thinks the Bible does state that the Bible's flat, or the Earth is flat as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
don't
have
agree
to
with
see
Floyd
where
on
he
that,
comes
though,
from, but even I don't really necessarily.
I understand where Floyd's coming from. I don't think his argument's sound though. Now
Yeah,
he may make
just parroting what other people say. That's the problem.
Hang on. He may make a point that certain people in the Bible, maybe Paul or Peter, whatever, they may have believed that the Earth was flat. That he may make an argument for that I can get into. But overall, I think the vast majority of people at the time, even the scribes, knew that the Earth was not flat. So
weren't the New Testament people, like they'd be on a different education level than the Old Testament people, right? So maybe by that time, people were starting to know that the Earth was like spherical, because there's the Greek influence and all that, right? Because weren't they the first to discover that?
Yeah, that's why I don't think that really the Bible advocates a flat Earth, even though there might have been.
Maybe the Old Testament stuff was a little bit different, because
possibly.
I recall a verse about the four corners of the Earth.
Yeah, but again, that could be allegorical.
Yeah, you do have
at the same time, there is the argument of where does the allegory come from?
I also seem to remember there being a passage where Jesus was taken somewhere where he could see the entire world all at once, which obviously would not be possible on a spherical Earth. So
that's a good point. Except you could also argue that
he was born of a virgin, so we've kind of suspended disbelief.
Was that Jesus or Ezekiel that saw the Earth at all once?
That is Jesus. That is a correct quote, as I recall. Satan is tempting him.
But couldn't he also just be showing him like a vision kind of thing? Like he's not literally seeing it. Like he took him to a mountain, but maybe
down on the ground.
If you want to read into the text, I mean, I don't know.
Eisegeting. I see it.
Like I know you have to add more than what it says.
Don't be eisegeting, man. Don't be eisegeting.
But at the same time, if we take everything literally, then it doesn't really get us too much. It doesn't really get us anywhere either, right?
CRISPR.
If I had $1 for every time a fundamentalist said "don't eisegete," I would be so rich I could
don't
eisegete.
Damn it, man! Don't you dare eisegete.
He eisegeted when he should have exegeted. I told him.
I walked in him eisegeting in the bathroom, and
There's red text everywhere.
That's like a worse sin than jerking off, man.
Gotta be careful, man. Don't be doing that.
CRISPR, I need you to do my homework.
Well, boys and girls, like I said, I don't want to have this hang out for very long. I want to get back to this video, but I can leave it open for you guys if you want.
I'm gonna go fondle my wife in a minute.
Yeah, it's Valentine's Day. I just want to have a short after show so you guys know what's going on. Hopefully, we'll this thing on Thursday.
I celebrated Valentine's Day yesterday, so I guess I'm out of luck today.
No, go get yourself a hooker.
Yeah, I'm working, so
yeah,
I got nothing better to do.
But anyways, happy birthday to me. Thank you all for
got staff
happy
duty.
birthday. I appreciate it. Even though, like I said, I don't celebrate birthdays. It's just another day to me. But I appreciate the fact that people messaged me on Facebook and sent me well wishes. So
hey, if it's your birthday, people should know, man.
You made
another arbitrary circuit of the sun. Congratulations.
I did. Exactly. And a date that I had no control over whatsoever.
Congratulations on not dying, Steve.
That's it.
For
me, that's a big thing. I mean,
yeah.
Who knows? If I continued to have smoked, I probably would have been in worse shape than I am.
2016 would have been a good year for it too. So
yeah, well, I'm not famous, so it wouldn't have mattered.
You're kind of famous. Look how many subs you have.
No, it was just not 1,000 subs. That's nothing in the YouTube community. Well, you know what's funny is actually, do you know that half the people on YouTube have less than 100 subs? Half the people on YouTube have less than 100 subs. That tells you, that most users don't have a lot of subs. I mean, Slim Jim, what do you got? 5?
6, I think.
There you go.
I got more than Slim Jim.
There's a lot of people who have YouTube accounts who don't actually post videos, though.
Right. That's
So
the
why
same.
would
That's
they
what
have
I'm saying.
any subscribers?
Right, because they're
I-
not. Because the vast
I-
majority are not content providers.
Some
I
people
have-
can be
In my
subscribed.
defense, though,
hold on
my
there,
channel is
Dad.
boring as hell.
Dad, I have 10 subs. I never did sub for sub, and I have 0 videos.
So why the hell do people care?
Some people can sub to you just for the profile picture.
Yeah, that's actually Slim and 9 sock accounts.
Yep.
Okay.
It
All
could
right,
be
guys.
worse.
So don't forget, mark it on your calendars. I'll remind you guys tomorrow. Thursday, we're gonna. It's gonna be a fun discussion with Joe on the Euphoria dilemma. I think it's with One Drop. Don't expect too much from him, but he's making accusations that it's not a dilemma, or basically, I don't know what the hell it actually was. But Joe wanted to have a thing on it, so I will moderate between the two of them and see who wants to listen and laugh at them. Anyways, guys,
Salt flow.
thanks for popping by. I will try to get this video out sometime tomorrow afternoon. I've already been working on it since literally 9 o'clock this morning. And I still haven't come close to finishing it. These things take freaking amazing amount of time, and it sucks. I don't know why it's so hard. Plus, I was doing really well on it, and all of a sudden I made one edit. And have you guys ever had that happen where everything changes? All your vocals change, the narrations change, everything goes to shit
Because of one edit.
because of one edit, and it's like, wait a minute, what the hell
I
is
wanna
happening?
say
here?
yes.
Yeah, and you're like, oh shit, I haven't saved it in the last 3 hours. So that kind of what happened to me.
Control Z.
Yeah, well, that only works so many times, and then
Yeah,
only works in
then
certain
you're stuck. It's like, oh.
It doesn't always work in Movie Maker. I've noticed. Trust me.
Oh,
But yeah,
that
Control
must
Z
suck.
usually does undo, but nope. Sometimes it just doesn't. All right, guys. I will see you guys on Thursday. So take care and enjoy your Valentine's Day. Go snuggle up to your significant other, or go snuggle up to somebody else's significant other.